Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff, staring into the abyss. Below you lies the chaos of your own mind, a swirling storm of self-doubt, fear, and destructive emotions. You feel the weight of your own predictions, your own prophecies, pulling you down. I will fail, you whisper. I am not enough. These are not mere thoughts. They are chains, forged by your own hands, binding you to a fate you believe is inevitable. This is the tyranny of self-prophecy. But what if I told you that these chains are an illusion, that the abyss is not your destiny, but a mirage? What if I told you that you hold the key to your own liberation? This is the promise of Stoicism, a philosophy not of passive acceptance, but of active mastery over the self. It is a call to arms, a battle cry against the forces that seek to enslave you. And it begins with one simple truth. You are not your thoughts. Chapter 1. The Stoic Mindset. The Art of Self-Ownership. To the Stoic, the mind is a fortress. It is the one thing in this world that is truly ours, the one thing we can control. As Epictetus, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, "You are not your body, nor your possessions, nor your reputation. You are your mind, and your mind is free." This is the foundation of Stoic philosophy, the recognition that our thoughts, our emotions, and our reactions are within our power to control. But how do we reclaim this power? How do we break free from the self-prophecies that bind us? The answer lies in the practice of self-ownership. To own yourself is to take responsibility for your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. It is to recognize that you are the author of your own story, and that no external force, no person, no event, no circumstance can dictate your destiny. Consider the story of Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism. Zeno was a wealthy merchant who lost everything in a shipwreck. Stripped of his possessions, he found himself destitute and alone. But instead of succumbing to despair, Zeno embraced his fate. He saw the shipwreck not as a tragedy, but as an opportunity, a chance to rebuild his life on a foundation of wisdom and virtue. Zeno's story is a testament to the power of self-ownership. He did not allow his circumstances to define him. Instead, he chose to define himself. Chapter 2. The Dichotomy of Control. What is yours to command? At the heart of Stoicism lies the dichotomy of control, a simple yet profound principle that divides the world into two categories: things we can control and things we cannot. As Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This principle is the key to breaking the cycle of self-prophecy. When we focus on what we cannot control, our past, our future, the opinions of others, we give power to our fears and doubts. We become slaves to our own predictions, trapped in a loop of anxiety and despair. But when we focus on what we can control, our thoughts, our actions, our reactions, we reclaim our power. We become the masters of our own destiny. Consider the story of Cato the Younger, a Stoic who lived during the fall of the Roman Republic. Cato was a man of unwavering principle, a man who refused to compromise his values, even in the face of death. When Julius Caesar marched on Rome, Cato chose to take his own life rather than submit to tyranny. His final words were a testament to his Stoic resolve. "I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul." Cato's story is a reminder that true freedom lies not in controlling the world around us, but in mastering the world within us. Chapter 3. The Discipline of Perception, Seeing the World as It Is. The Stoics believed that our perceptions shape our reality. As Epictetus taught, it is not things that disturb us, but our judgments about things. This is the discipline of perception, the practice of seeing the world as it is, not as we fear or desire it to be. Self-prophecy is born from distorted perceptions. We see failure where there is only opportunity, danger where there is only challenge. We project our fears onto the future, creating a reality that does not exist. But the Stoic knows that perception is a choice. We can choose to see the world through the lens of fear, or we can choose to see it through the lens of reason. Consider the story of Seneca, the Stoic philosopher and advisor to the Emperor Nero. Seneca lived in a time of great turmoil, a time when the Roman Empire was plagued by corruption and violence. Yet despite the chaos around him, Seneca remained steadfast in his commitment to virtue. He saw the world not as a place of danger, but as a place of opportunity, a place where he could practice wisdom, courage, and self-control. Seneca's story is a reminder that our perceptions shape our reality, and that we have the power to choose how we see the world. Chapter 4. The Discipline of Action. Living in accordance with nature. The Stoics believed that the purpose of life is to live in accordance with nature, to align our actions with the principles of reason and virtue. This is the discipline of action, the practice of acting with intention, with purpose, and with integrity. Self-prophecy is often a result of inaction. We predict our own failure because we fear to act, because we fear to take risks. But the Stoic knows that action is the antidote to fear. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do every act of your life as if it were your last." When we act with purpose, we break free from the cycle of self-prophecy. We prove to ourselves that we are capable of more than we ever imagined. Consider the story of Cleanthes, the second head of the Stoic school. Cleanthes was a man of humble origins, a former boxer who worked as a water carrier to support himself while he studied philosophy. Despite his hardships, Cleanthes remained committed to his studies, rising early each morning to work and study late into the night. His dedication paid off, and he eventually became one of the most respected philosophers of his time. Cleanthes' story is a reminder that action is the key to overcoming self-prophecy. When we act with purpose, we create our own destiny. Chapter 5. The Discipline of Will. Accepting what cannot be changed. The Stoics believed that true freedom lies in the acceptance of what cannot be changed. This is the discipline of will, the practice of accepting the things we cannot control, and focusing our energy on the things we can. Self-prophecy is often a result of resistance. We resist the present moment. We resist our circumstances. We resist our own limitations. But the Stoic knows that resistance is futile. As Epictetus taught, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. When we accept what cannot be changed, we free ourselves from the burden of self-prophecy. We learn to flow with the currents of life, rather than fighting against them. Consider the story of Musonius Rufus, the Stoic teacher who was exiled by the Emperor Nero. Despite his exile, Musonius remained committed to his teachings, continuing to spread the principles of Stoicism to all who would listen. He saw his exile not as a punishment, but as an opportunity, a chance to practice the virtues of patience, resilience, and acceptance. Musonius' story is a reminder that true freedom lies in the acceptance of what cannot be changed. Chapter 6. The Path to Mastery. A Life of Virtue and Wisdom. The Stoic path is not an easy one. It requires discipline, courage, and a relentless commitment to self-mastery. But the rewards are immeasurable. As Seneca wrote, the wise man is neither raised up by prosperity nor cast down by adversity, for he has always endeavored to rely chiefly upon himself and to derive all joy from himself. To stop self-prophecy is to embark on a journey of self-discovery, a journey that leads to the very heart of who you are. It is a journey that requires you to confront your fears, to challenge your beliefs, and to embrace the unknown. But it is also a journey that leads to true freedom, the freedom to live a life of virtue, wisdom, and purpose. As you stand at the edge of the abyss, remember this: the chains that bind you are an illusion. The abyss is not your destiny. You are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul. And with the principles of Stoicism as your guide, you have the power to break free from the tyranny of self-prophecy and to create a life that is truly your own. The call to action. The time has come to take up the mantle of the Stoic, to embrace the principles of self-ownership, the dichotomy of control, and the disciplines of perception, action, and will. To break free from the chains of self-prophecy and to reclaim your power as the author of your own destiny. The path ahead will not be easy. There will be challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But remember the words of Marcus Aurelius: the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Every obstacle is an opportunity, every challenge a chance to grow. And with each step you take, you will come closer to the person you are meant to be. So take a deep breath and step forward into the unknown. The abyss is not your destiny. You are. And with the wisdom of the Stoics as your guide, there is nothing you cannot achieve.